Now it's time to invite Mrs. Isabel Wachsmuth, an international leader with more than 20 years at the World Health Organization headquarters in Geneva, where she is project manager in the Universal Health Coverage and Life Course Division and leads the Art Impact for Health and SDGs Incubator. Mrs. Wachsmuth, you may begin.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Perfect. Good morning, everyone. It's a very big pleasure to present this morning an important topic for me and for what we have discussed previously about the importance of traditional and complementary medicine, but as well part of the design of what we call integrated health. And I will present today what we have done, what we have achieved in terms of art and creativity to humanize healthcare and services. And I will give you a little bit a world map view in this short time. In fact, it's very important to consider art and creativity. It's, as you will see, it will be part of the social prescribing intervention, and it is a big trend now in the world. I will as well describe that to you. First, I will start with where we are today at global level. Health is increasingly recognized as a societal issue and holistic model linked to multiple and complex factors, social and economic deprivation, and lifestyle in general. By 2050, 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health problem each year, and depression will affect 1 in 5 older people, particularly children, young people, and adults who suffer from social and economic deprivation in their life. For that, it is very important to consider key priority needs, specifically for low-middle-income countries, but as well for emerging economies. Healthcare models based on human relationship at their core need to consider the integration of services, need to strengthening primary health care, and as well to invest on community-based care. Where is the art therapy, in that, and the role of art, in fact, to support what I have expressed previously as the scale of the problem. Art therapy sector worldwide, donc in the health center where we are. The art therapy services market was valued at $1.5 billion in 2023 and is expected to reach $3.9 billion by 2030, with an anticipated growth rate of 15.1% between 2024 and 2030. An estimated 50% increase in registered art therapists in the US, for example, over the past 5 years. This growth reflects wider acceptance of therapeutic modalities in clinical and educational settings. So it is really where we are in the development at global level in this art therapy. And the current trends in the evolution of art therapy use around the world is very taken in consideration now, including by, of course, WHO. And it is important to consider drawing and painting therapy account for 40%, while sculpture therapy is experiencing the fastest growth, driven by its unique therapeutic application in emotional healing and rehabilitation. In Asia Pacific, stands out as the fastest growing region at around 10.2%, reflecting the growing acceptance of art therapy and its integration into traditional mental health care. Music therapy is the fastest growing subsegment, gaining popularity due to its positive impact on cognitive health, particularly in elderly care facilities. And as you know, with some part of the world, we have more and more elder people. It's very important to consider music therapy. Employment prospects for art therapists are expected to grow by 22% from 2021 to 2031 as the profession continues to develop. And I think that is the key last evidence about the creative art activities and their impact. And the fact we need to consider that as a pathway to better mental health and well-being. Today, numerous studies show that art therapy or creative artistic activities can significantly reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. These activities promote the expression and processing of emotion, improving self-awareness, self-esteem, and emotional regulation. And clinical trials have reported improvement in this area following participation in visual art, particularly through museum prescription. I will enter that more in details. Music therapy or dance therapy. In terms of key fact, we can consider this key figure following. 650 million people worldwide have benefited or are benefiting from art therapy. 73%, we have observed 73% reduction in symptoms of anxiety, depression, and stress, particularly for those are the autism spectrum. 77% reported an improvement in their overall psychological health and social and communication skills. 34% reduction in pain and fatigue in cancer patients. 85% of pregnant women suffering from the prenatal depression or anxiety experience relief. 71% reduction in chronic pain, 79% increase in self-esteem and more positive self-image, and 54% reduction in suicide and self-harm. Look, it's really impressive, average of impact. And I think it's just the beginning to have more and more evidence in the world in favor of art prescription. For the pain management, particularly in the context of post-operative care and chronic disease, art is really valuable. For example, I will not go in details here, but just to keep in the mind, it is impactful to reduce medication use, to shorten the hospital stays, to consider fever complication and readmission, to improve quality of life and treatment adherence, and as well to reduce need for additional care. So that it is really to keep for us in our mind. And in terms of art and pain management, I want just to give you some additional key figures are available in terms of evidence today. For example, in terms of return of investment, I will go in specific figure. For example, the potential saving of up to 10 to 20% in certain contexts. And this figure remains to be confirmed by large scales, and it is from this multi-center study. So it's quite, strong evidence base on the back. Approximately 30 to 50% of healthcare facilities in certain countries, particularly in Europe and North America, regularly incorporate music into their protocol to reduce anxiety and pain and improve patient comfort. So that it is quite an important figure, specifically from the Western countries. And the regular integration of music could reduce overall healthcare costs by 5 to 15%. And finally, about the visual art and creative expression, some analyses estimate that art therapy or other psychosocial approach can contribute to 10 to 20% reduction in hospital cost, mainly through better stress management, faster recovery, and a decrease in complications related to anxiety or depression. That is really important to consider this key figure, you know, and as well the other dimension of art, specifically theater and drama therapy, dance are as well to be considered. For example, here you can see their impact. You know, I will not enter in details, but you can look the influence of each type of art therapy and the influence on directly on the health and well-being of people. For example, to improve social interaction, I have mentioned previously self-esteem, but as well patient satisfaction in general, what it is critical, and how to address trauma in general, specifically for people and population affected by war and conflict. And what is the difference, for example, and I think it's very important to articulate that, what is the difference between social art and how to use as well social art to bring together people and to have a focus on how we can live together, you know. And the difference as well with art therapy, I think it's very important to articulate this difference. For example, for social art, it is community or group level. It is about artistic co-creation, donc how artists can contribute in this social value creation. It is about secure, share space and different artistic disciplines. It's too fast. To establish the components of social cohesion, social relationship, solidarity, sense of belonging, and social capital. And the goal it is really to connect with others, exchanging knowledge, sense of belonging, collective affirmation, self-expression among communities. For art therapy, what is the difference? It is the needs. It's really provided by art therapists. It is to create a space conducive to creation based on non-judgment. That is absolutely critical. And the goal is to be a guide in the creative process, therapeutic relationship based on trust, a dialogue about the creative process, and to discover the meaning of one's creation self-knowledge. Donc you can see the difference in terms of the audience and how the design is doing for social art and art therapy. And for that, to have a very effective impact, it's important to consider already some key intervention and community-based art participation. You can see the mechanism, you know, I have expressed previously. And for that, I will look specifically example like the concept of what we call living museum. And today, 40 living museums have been implemented in the world. And it's absolutely incredible intervention, can really address this burden issue of mental health. I will just show you by short video what we have achieved with creative art workshops and how immersive and interactive art exhibitions are extremely valuable to specifically with community and group, and as well how we can use live painting to make the difference. Here I will not enter in the details, but it is to show you quickly the spiral of collective resilience, you know, and the needs for paradigm shift and the importance to create safe place for vulnerable population and to rebuild social ties and facilitating with that the cognitive engagement, what is absolutely critical, you know, to address this chronic disease specifically on the long term. And for the social prescription, I want just to give you the current situation and evidence of effectiveness. The growing of evidence based on for social prescription is very important. It's from the Lancet, you know, and I have extracted the key elements, you know, to keep in the mind. 4 million patient records analyzed over 6 years. Social prescription liaison workers have had positive effects. The other important fact, it is green prescribing program, donc it is the link to nature, you know, to prescribe, for example, walking in nature, a relationship with nature. And we have proof now, we have significant improvement in mental health. Social prescription reduce pressure on health systems, and as well some randomized control trials in 8 countries via the social prescribing EU program. I am part as well of this program, have demonstrated an impact, and specific studies on children and young people as well. Donc it's just to show you where we are on this aspect. The other aspect of social innovation through art, it is as well the role of museum, and specifically not just the traditional museum, but as well what I call living museum. And I will not describe too much details, but just what we need to keep in the mind. It is museums have already developed tools for assessing well-being. For example, Museum Wellbeing Toolkit exists. And it is really used to assess the impact of visits. For example, it is the case in the British Museum on a psychological and subjective well-being. And that have demonstrated already their social and cultural impact. Some countries, for example, like New Zealand, Scotland, have developed well-being policy frameworks that encourage museums to evaluate their success based on meaningful rewarding and empowering outcomes rather than visitors' number and revenue. So that it is really a change in this world. And for the Living Museum, it is really how we create transformative and safe space for mental health and well-being. Here you can see on this figure how we have an impact on the interconnection, the individual transformation, what is critical. It is really to supporting people well-being throughout their life, providing safe, interactive, and experiential environment. Donc it is as well to lead to experience evidence-based. It is a space that promotes trauma healing and mental health, exploring difficult emotion and experience without the pressure of the outside world, and a way to contain the overwhelming feelings associated with trauma and to engage at your own pace and reduce anxiety. It is as well an effect on the collective transformation and as well the transformation of organization. And it is very effective to remodeling clinical practices to make them more inclusive and respectful of social preference, and to have more active role as a space for transformation. And that is the key elements we need to consider. For the artist creation workshop, I will finish with that, and I will show you some testimonies. The advantage it is specifically for young children, the skills development, personal fulfillment and well-being of participants, individual social benefits like the networking. You are doing networking in this conference, for example, quality of life interaction, community social benefits, networking, community services, but as well individual and community economic and cultural benefits. Donc the impact, I will not come back to that, but it is really to reinforce the fact that improves self-confidence and promoting reconciliation with oneself and openness to others, as well as developing artistic skills within the community, and to feel a sense of belonging and involvement. Donc here it's just an example how we have done that in the world. When we do an intervention at country level, we try to engage, as you can see, for example, it was in Bulgaria. We have engaged children, in the nature, and we have done with these children this big living painting to demonstrate in live what is self-transformation. This creative workshop, they teach children, their family, and loved one, as well as the healthcare professionals, including psychologists and speech therapists, to use art to effectively treat trauma and developing coping mechanisms through expression and community. They invite participants to tap into their authentic vulnerabilities and share stories they will not normally tell, provide an opportunity to express the inexpressible through art, which becomes a means of exploring trauma and recovering from it. Help them feel grace and compassion for themselves and others. This broadens their emotional vocabulary, and in doing so, strengthens their resilience. The creative process invites them to remember what it means to be a human and to be vulnerable. So that is just to show you where we have done this type of intervention with these children affected by cleft over the world, and as well to assess the impact of this creative workshop. And just to show you some quotes, I will finish with some quote and a short movie, the presentation. Donc, for example, very touching a quote from the participant of this creative workshop. Happy, grateful, and motivated to seek equal treatment for all, regardless of difference, from a coordinator. For me, it was a very special day because we were with our loved one and enjoy a very special event from the patient. Very happy, I love this space to share with my daughter, a mother, and a valuable experience for interaction, inclusion, and enjoyment from a coordinator. These activities facilitate and improve interaction between patients themselves and between professionals. You can see the happiness of the patients and their family, and it is rewarding as a professional to know that these activities bring well-being from a professional. And now I will finish this presentation with 2 minutes of movie just to showcase. It is in Spanish, but you have translation in English to show what have been achieved from the field.
El arte para mí es expresar sentimientos de tristeza, felicidad, cuando tienes miedo.
Para mí el arte significaría alguna forma de liberarte de alguna carga.
Por ejemplo, si me estoy triste, pues dibujo y ya se me va el enojo, la tristeza, como que me libera de algo fuerte.
Para mí el arte es una forma de transmitir diferentes mensajes que a veces no podemos decir con palabras.
Yo creo que es maravilloso que la Organización Mundial de la Salud esté logrando conectar el arte con la salud de esta manera tan interesante, ¿no?
Health is not just about curative approach, it's as well about prevention, and art is one aspect can be considered, for example, to provide social support to the people. And specifically for these children affected by cleft, this comprehensive care is absolutely critical.
Ellos, cuando son a veces pues segregados o discriminados, no pueden expresar lo que piensan o lo que sienten, y de esta manera ellos le dan a la pintura, a la calaverita, este permiso de expresar qué son, qué están sintiendo.
Creo que el arte los va a hacer más sensibles, los va a hacer más mejores humanos. Los va a enseñar a abrir también su corazón, su alma, sus emociones sin miedo.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So art and creativity are powerful tools to humanize healthcare worldwide. Thank you, Mrs. Wachsmuth, for your nice presentation. Thank you very much.